In time of conflict, people do awful things to each other. There are more than 3,600 deaths chronicled between 1966 and 1999. Often the mass killings became synonymous with the places where they happened: Dublin, Birmingham, Darkley, Greysteel, Brighton, Guildford, Deal, Monaghan, Shankill, Finisland, Warrington. We had Bloody Sunday and Bloody Friday, and many, many other bloody days throughout that period. Men, women, and children died. Then the peace process began, the killings subsided but didn't stop, and political leaders in these islands, in Europe and the United States, brokered an uneasy peace. Our joint peace process, sponsored and nurtured by our governments in Ireland and successive British governments, was dealt a severe blow when the people of Britain voted to leave the European Union. As a Democrat, I respect the vote. However, the Irish peace process did not feature in the Brexit debate, except in Northern Ireland, where it was, naturally, a major issue. Elsewhere in the UK, it was simply lost in the noise generated by Brexiters, with no thought among many of them about how leaving Europe would affect us over here on this island. And so that leaves the question that hasn't been answered yet: what will Brexit look like? Ireland's Taoiseach, Leo Varadkar, has been much more skeptical than the UK about the potential for avoiding border posts via virtual checks on importers. Whilst agreeing with British ministers and EU negotiators that it is inconceivable for there to be a return to a hard border with the North, Dublin argues that the best way for the UK to achieve this would be by permanently remaining in a customs union with the EU and seeking single market membership like Norway through the European Economic Area. The UK has conceded that some of this will be necessary in its interim phase after Brexit, but hopes clever technological solutions can allow it have looser economic links in the long run. Varadkar is not alone in being skeptical about whether such a cake-and-eat-it customs and trade strategy is viable. As a member of the Irish Parliament, the Dáil, for County Donegal, a border county with a land boundary with the Northern Ireland counties of Derry, Tyrone and Fermanagh, I can tell you what we don't want. There cannot be a return to any sort of physical border: no checkpoints, no technology, no cameras, and no personnel. To introduce any of these measures is, in my opinion, a breach of the Good Friday Agreement. An All-Ireland referendum on May 22, 1998 enshrined the peace agreement in the legislation of both the UK and the Republic. In Northern Ireland 71.1% voted yes, in the Republic 94.4% voted yes. An incredible 81% of people in the North went to the polls. The yearning for peace was overwhelming. That yearning wasn't just here in Ireland. It was also a deeply held ambition for the people of Britain, and that was recognised in the deal along three strands covering internal relations in Northern Ireland, relations between the Republic and the North, and the relationship between the Republic and Britain. We accept the Brexit vote.